Hello, everyone. We are live and we are tapping today on, let me just get comfortable here, on overwhelmed. So, if you are feeling overwhelmed, if you feel like everything is too much right now, let's tap on it. Before we do anything, I want you to stay hydrated and just guzzle a lot of water. If you don't have your water and you're tapping here with me for the very first time, just always have your water when you're with me. Always have your water. I'll give you a moment to get your water bottle and drink. Okay. We're getting up. If you're new to me, if you're new to tapping, this is called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. It's a self-applied stress management tool. In short, it can be applied as acupuncture without needles. And what you do is you literally tap on certain points on your body to regulate yourself. It's called emotional freedom technique to help you with your emotions. We have a common disease on this planet. I'm just going to say this like it is for me, that we don't know how to deal with our emotions. As little children, we have learned that certain emotions are bad, certain emotions are good, and we only have to be happy and cheerful and I don't know what, or we are only getting attention when we are sad, or whatever your programming is. Like, it's getting too much to go into it too detailed, but the reason we are often triggered, or we deal in certain ways, or we are sabotaging ourselves, or we feel a way is of old programming. Tapping has been by now a proven technique to deal with anxiety, to deal with PTSD, to help you with stress. And it is used in the personal development world to let go of limiting beliefs and to change that programming. What is happening on a scientific level is that while you tap on these points, you send a calming signal to your amygdala, to your brain, that is responsible for the fight or flight mood you're in. So when you are triggered, when your brain goes and your body goes into survival mode, that's when this amygdala is being activated and goes into, like, kind of, I'm going to say hyperventilation. It's just you go into this mode of tunnel vision, only survival. And you do this strategy that your brain, your amygdala, picked in that moment for you to just survive. So when you are triggered because you have to give a presentation at work, for example, there's this coping mechanism, this strategy that your brain has chosen is not working anymore. It has helped us when we had to run away from a tiger or hide from, I don't know, a dinosaur. It's not helping us in nowadays world most of the time. If there's a predator coming, run. It's always a good idea. However, most of the time when we are triggered and we have these stress responses, we are not making very good choices and we are making our life harder. So what is happening in tapping is we calm ourselves down. We go away from tunnel vision of, oh my God, how am I going to survive, to a calmer state of being. When you tap, this is how I experience tapping when I know it's working. It's like, it feels like a shower over you that takes away the yucky feeling, the annoyance, the whatever emotion was really primary inside of you, was kind of running the show, is gone. You can tap on basically anything. It is proven that the cortisol level has dropped after tapping. So even if you tap 10 minutes a day, if you make tapping part of your routine on a daily basis, you will have the significance and the effects of having a lower cortisol, having less stress in your body, inside of you. You think differently. Make this a routine. And if you have certain topics that are coming up over and over again, then tap on it with a guided tapping session. There are many tapping sessions on this channel for you. You can book a one-on-one session. You can join the membership. I have a membership in which this is all about, we tap weekly on something like we do here live, but there's in a more, that is in a different setup, and it's a community of women and men by now who want to ditch drama. We're starting with how to ditch the dating drama and relationship shit shows, and then we just learn how to apply what we've learned, the ditching the drama, on other areas on the life as well. Now, let's tap on overwhelm. I would like you to take another sip of water. To think of something that is stressing you out at the moment, that is making you feel like this is too much, I can't do this. A lot of times it's topics like, I don't have enough time. It is simply too much on my to-do list. And you're putting yourself under a lot of pressure of maybe perfectionism. Maybe you have too many projects going on, or maybe you think you have too many projects going on and you don't really know how to prioritize, what to do at first, and it's just too much. As a mom, a business owner, it sometimes often gets too much. So it's a tapping I keep coming back to. A little tip before we go and do this tapping is also, if it gets too much, go somewhere for 5 minutes and tap. Even if you don't have 5 minutes, you can take a few deep breaths and tap on these tapping points and just take breaths. You don't have to say anything or do anything. Let the tapping, let your body do the work. It's a somatic experience, so your body is doing a lot of the work for you. Okay, if that sounds too woo-woo, just know that there's also science backing this up from the past 3 decades. So there's been a lot of proof, and recent MRI studies have shown the changes in the brain. Before they did the study on food addiction or food cravings, and they showed the participants a food that lit up a pleasure in the brain. So the brain lit up. You could see that in the scans. And after the tapping sessions, there have been certain rounds, certain length, and a certain amount of tappings that have been done. They did the MRI scan again while showing the food, and what happened is the brain didn't lit up anymore. So that has been a big breakthrough in the science behind tapping. If you want to find out more about it, it's Peter Stapleton, who does from Australia. He does a lot of science work behind it, of like to make it sure that this is actually an evidence-based technique. It's not a woo-woo thing. It's not like, oh, there's energies and let's just tap on it. It comes from that, but there's really science behind it backing up that it works. And what was the biggest proof for me to use this technique for myself, for my clients, was that it actually worked. So here you go. Let's tap on it. Enough talking. So think of the stress that you have, the overwhelm, the not knowing where this is going, where you're going, what you should do. It's just like all this overwhelm. It helps, close your eyes and think about it. Okay, let's tap. What we do is you tap on the points I'm tapping, and then you repeat after me. It's super simple. While you think of this topic, rate it on a scale from 0 to 10. 0 means it doesn't affect me at all. And 10 means, yes, I'm super stressed out. I'm super overwhelmed. I'm like full-blown, like in freeze mode or panic mode. I don't know what to do. Where are you? Don't overthink this. Just the first number that comes up. Maybe jot it down somewhere or keep it in your mind. Okay, let's go. Even though I feel completely overwhelmed right now, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel all this overwhelm, I choose to accept and honor myself regardless. Even though there's so much going on at the moment, I choose to accept my situation. Just thinking of all the things that I have to do, all the things I want to do, is kind of giving me a heart attack. I feel it in my chest. I feel it in, please say where you feel it. I feel how my body is responding to all this. And I just want this to go away. I feel so blocked. I almost feel helpless. I sometimes feel like I'm being punished by the universe. I feel so much stress. There's a lot of pressure. And I feel completely overwhelmed. And even though this is going on right now, I choose to deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. And I'm ready to let this go. I'm ready to simply let this all go. I'm willing to see things differently. I'm willing to turn this around. And what if I could just drop all this overwhelm and see my situation differently? What if I could just turn on a switch and just go from one side and turn the switch to the other side? And I could just see clearly again. Let go of all this overwhelm. And maybe I don't have to let go of all this overwhelm at once. Maybe it goes away little by little. Maybe I'll see clearly, like I slowly walk out of the cloud. Whatever that means for me, I'm ready to see things differently. I'm willing to drop this overwhelm. And I choose to love, accept, and forgive myself wholeheartedly. And maybe, just maybe, and only a little bit, I might be able to forgive anyone who's got anything to do with my situation. Maybe I can find that within me, just to help me drop this overwhelm. And I choose to love and accept myself regardless of what's going on. And I'm willing to drop this overwhelm. I'm ready to see things differently. Okay, take a deep breath in. Hold it at the top and let it go. Wonderful. Another guzzle of water. Let's keep tapping. That was just the setup, my loves. All this overwhelm. God, I'm stressed. And now I'm tapping and I'm ruining my hair. Maybe it's not my day. Maybe it's not my week. Maybe just on a bad strike or path right now. Maybe it's something else. I feel really overwhelmed right now. I'm stressed out. And this stress is not helping me. It's really blocking me to understand what I have to do next. I know I have to prioritize. And I'm really struggling with this right now. It's too much. Everything is just too much right now. I feel completely overwhelmed. And part of me thinks that I'm a loser. Like other people are getting it all done. Why can't I pull myself together and just be like other superhumans? There's so many inspiring people out there who seem like to have it all figured out. Like they're juggling family and business and life. And they seem to laugh their way through challenges. And here I am, feeling super stressed, completely overwhelmed, and like a failure, looking at other people being able to do life. I really question what is wrong with me. I have all this overwhelm, all this stress. I feel stuck in not knowing what to do next. I need you to do this voice too, this noise. Deep breath. Let it out. I acknowledge the fact that that's how I feel right now. I see that that's what's going on. And I don't have to understand from where it's coming. If I need to, I can go deep in analyzing, finding out why I have this programming, why I feel this way right now. But maybe that's just going to stress me out more. And just acknowledging the fact that I'm stressed out and overwhelmed is going to help me move away from it. And while I acknowledge my situation, I choose to accept it. And I choose to love myself regardless. This might be a new concept of mine, because I'm starting to not talk down to myself in those moments. I'm going to choose a different approach. I'm going to acknowledge that that's the way I feel. I feel stressed and overwhelmed. And I don't need to fix it right now. I simply acknowledge the fact that I'm stressed and overwhelmed at this moment. It's not my new identity. It's not my identity at all. It's a feeling I have within me at this very moment. And that is okay. I choose to love and accept myself anyway. And I'm ready to turn this around. I'm willing to let go of my overwhelm and of all the stress. Stress happens when I am here but want to be there. And right now I want to be somewhere else. I want to be further along in life. I don't want to deal with my problems. And I just want something else right now. And I see how frustration is part of my emotional turmoil as well. And it's okay to be frustrated. I choose to love and accept myself anyway. And I'm letting go of this overwhelm, the stress, and the frustration. And I choose to see things differently. And I'm going to open a gate to my emotions. And I'm going to let all these emotions out. It's like I have gauged in some emotions and trying to keep out others. But some emotions keep coming back. So maybe it's time to open up the gates and allow myself to feel the way I feel. And to just let that be for a moment. So when I acknowledge those emotions, in this case, stress and overwhelm, maybe they just need to be there for a moment. They just want to be seen. And then I'm just going to let them go. They're free to go. They're free to come back if they need to. And maybe if I don't pretend that they are not there, I'm going to start feeling a lot freer. Right now, I'm going to let go of this stress and this overwhelm. I'm going to use this opportunity to say thank you for showing up. Because then you don't have to linger in my subconscious. You don't have to linger in parts of my body. The stress and this overwhelm has come up for a reason. And maybe I understand why, and maybe I don't. And maybe by tapping about it and around it, I already feel better. And I don't have to analyze anything anymore. And I just allow myself to feel better. I allow myself to enjoy the feeling of freedom. Freedom from my emotions. And the stress and the overwhelm has already lowered. And I choose to feel a lot better. And I choose to love, accept, and forgive myself. And so it is. Take a deep breath in. Hold it at the top and let it go. Hope this helped you. Do it whenever you can, whenever you want. I love you.